Hey, what's going on everyone? NoZoupForYou here, and hope you all are doing fantabulous right now. You're currently watching some Goliath gameplay. This ship is still somewhat in testing. You know it's coming soon. I mean, you already got some of the British heavies. I'm pretty sure Goliath is probably done at this point. I have it in my port though, and I'm still playing it. And while this video isn't going to be about the Goliath in particular, I will say that I do enjoy it. This round isn't anything spectacular, it's more or less just kind of filler. But I do want to reiterate that I enjoy the Goliath. I think it's a very capable tier 10 cruiser. Despite my misgivings against the other British heavy cruisers, I think Goliath is a worthy tier 10 and probably the best in the line. I'm not a big fan of the other ones in general. I'm just not. But Goliath is a lot of fun. It's a heavy hitter, both in its HE and its AP. And of course, here it is. But that's, again, not the point of the video. The point of this video is it's about time. Interesting topic, right? Time? Time is the most precious commodity that we have. And after this most recent high-risk doctor's appointment for my wife and her pregnancy, they've said that they might be bumping things up from 38 weeks to 37 weeks because one of our babies has gotten so large that it's not causing issues, but I mean, she's going to get larger, and based on her location and everything else, it just complicates things. So with twins, from what we've been told, they don't like keeping the babies in any longer than they have to, so we wouldn't go past 38 weeks as it is. We wouldn't go full term 2 weeks early, but at this point it's looking like 37 weeks just based on the circumstances, and I'm kind of happy about that. I mean, the fact that one of the babies is already over 5.5 pounds, the little girl, and the boy's approaching 5 pounds right now, you know, that's the most I can hope for. That they're over 5 pounds, and the heavier the better. I like the idea of holding something that's bigger and doesn't seem quite as fragile. So, let them grow, I say, and I hope they do. But it has got me thinking, with only a month of freedom left, and I've been thinking about how I'm going to play warships, how I'm going to continue the hobbies I have, making videos and everything else. And there's a lot of realities that come into play with having children. And I'm sure a lot of you out there right now understand that. I'm sure a lot of you out there playing are new parents or parents in general. And, you know, for one thing, if you have any hints and tips for me, I would absolutely love that. Because right now, you know, just doing the math and trying to determine how I'm going to be able to squeeze things in, it's kind of overwhelming because I had a friend who just had a baby back in December, a good friend in the neighborhood, and I know how hard it's been for him, even after a month and a week, or 2 weeks. Actually, I think his son's 2 months now. But still, he's not getting a lot of sleep. I think he got 2 hours of sleep on Friday, and you know, they've got a good system, him and his wife. 4 hours on, 4 hours off, kind of like hot bunking in a submarine or something like that, or on a ship. So they've got a good effective team right there, where one of them will take the boy and the other will get a break. We're not going to have that luxury. I can't just strap one baby in a carrier on my chest and go about my business, and my wife can sleep because we've got 2 babies on the way. So that makes things really difficult right there, and just figuring out how I'm going to handle things it's been weighing on my mind, and my time has been a lot more limited in the past couple weeks than usual because I'm trying to get ready for these babies coming. There's a lot of stuff to do around the house still. There's a lot of stuff in the nursery to do and things to put together and things to clean that I know that if I don't do now, I'm not going to be able to take care of for quite a while. So it's really a lot. But that's got me thinking about World of Warships. It's got me thinking about the game in general. And while I love the game, one of the biggest gripes I have about the game is it's time consuming for a multiplayer game. And I know 20 minutes for a round isn't that long, but in many ways it is. And that's one of the reasons I really love the 1v1 gameplay that we had for that ranked sprint season. The rounds were super quick, a matter of minutes and they were over, and I'm really pining for those right now. I want those back because I know I'm going to need something like that. Well, let's face it, a first-person shooter, I've been playing a lot of Modern Warfare lately, and you can jump into a round and they're over between 5 and 10 minutes, but guess what? If you've got to leave halfway through, it doesn't hurt. I mean, yeah, it's going to hurt your team a little bit, but more than likely someone else is going to get tossed into your place. It's not as bad as if you were to just up and quit in a World of Warships round. Your team's not as dependent on you in in Modern Warfare as it is in World of Warships. That's one of the great things, and why, sadly, I think Modern Warfare and those type of first-person shooters are going to be my go-to when we first have these babies for kind of a stress release or everything else. Because I can sit down there, I can play 5 or 10 minutes, and, if I get a call from my wife saying I'm needed upstairs ASAP because something's going on, no harm, no foul, I just quit. It doesn't really hurt my stats, though I really don't care about my warship stats much anymore, 5 years on. But it's an easy fix. It's not a big deal. Warships, though, I don't feel I could do that. I mean, I would feel that, if I'm 5 or 10 minutes into a round, that's very close. If an emergency happened and I had to run upstairs for some reason to help out, clean, change a diaper or whatever else, I'd feel horrible about it. I wouldn't want to do it because you are handicapping your team. And no one's just going to jump in and take your spot. That's a ship that's gone. I mean, if you back out completely, well, you take a penalty for that. You're going to go pink. If you stay in the game, yeah, you can set some manual waypoints and set your secondaries to pop off, and maybe, just maybe, you'll get lucky, and as you approach an enemy ship, you're going to light some fires or something like that, but you're still not doing your team any favors. So this kind of begets an even bigger problem with World of Warships that I have right now, and I've had for years. We need more game modes, new game modes. And I know a lot of you out there are saying the game's getting stale right now. And for many of you it is, and I'll say for me it is a little bit too. I mean, again, we keep getting these new ships, and new ships are great. I love new ships. But it gets to a point where new ships aren't going to keep the game going. You need new, exciting game modes for people to want to play those ships. And there's no reason we can't have some faster-paced game modes in there. I mean, the Halloween and the I think it was April Fool's when we had the Torp Beats rounds. I mean, that tells you they can do it. But I don't know why we haven't. We've stuck to the same core game modes. They last 20 minutes. They're long, they can be boring, and you're stuck in them. They're not quick at all. That 1v1, that was great. I could jump in and be done in a minute or two, maybe 3. And, if they implemented something like that and I had to leave, guess what? You're not hurting anyone else. You're just hurting yourself. The other player gets the win. So what? But when you're playing 12v12, or you're in a clan battle, or you're even in a ranked battle, 7v7 or 8v8, if you gotta up and leave, up and quit, you just screwed your team over. You're an AFKer, and it's bad. It's not going to help your team, and you put them at a huge disadvantage, much more so than a first-person shooter, where, if it's 5v5 or 6v6 and you drop, yeah, it might hurt a little bit, but like I said earlier, someone's just going to be filled right in, and things will move along. You're not going to turn pink, and you'll be free to come back when you want. I wish we could do that in World of Warships. I wish we could do more stuff like that. But really right now, just with these kids coming, I'm thinking about it, and I'm like, my Warships time's probably going to go down just because there are not any time-friendly game modes in there that are conducive to having newborns and infants. And, maybe I'm wrong. Maybe some of you all out there with babies can tell me and say, hey, you'll be able to get some rounds in at some point. Maybe not right away, maybe down the line. Still, though, I would love the option for faster game modes. Game modes that last anywhere between 5 to 10 minutes, not 20 minutes. And I think we're at the point in this game's life cycle where if you don't start putting stuff like that in there or new and exciting fresh game modes, players are probably going to start to move on, because 5 years on and the game's kind of unchanged in the actual gameplay department and the way the games are played. I mean, you're on borrowed time if you don't shake things up right now. I really hope you do. Wargaming? I really hope you do. Because last thing I want is to take a small break for these kids and come back to a game with like 0 population in it. That would suck, because I love this game too much. So, we'll see. Maybe we'll get some new game modes in the future. Some faster pace and quicker game modes. But I'm really not holding my breath at this point. Anyhow, fun and exciting times ahead. Hope you all are doing wonderful. I'll catch you all later. Zoop out.